The following is an Investor Brand Network audio production via our audio press release solutions. As a multifaceted financial news and publishing company, Investor Brand Network utilizes its network of more than 5,000 distribution partners as well as other corporate communication tools to introduce public and private companies to a wide audience of investors, consumers, journalists, and the general public. Investor Brand Network's platform connects the investment community with companies that have great potential and a strong dedication to building shareholder value. The following audio press release may feature a client partner of Investor Brand Network. Investor Brand Network may have been compensated for the production of this audio production. Please be sure to read our entire disclaimer for full disclosure.
Welcome to Network Newswire editorial coverage titled Inflation Reduction Act Fans Red-Hot Trend in Renewable Energy Market. The market for renewable energy enjoys considerable tailwinds due to growing concerns about climate change, energy security, and global initiatives to rein in carbon emissions. The tailwinds turned into a tempest late in 2022 when the Inflation Reduction Act, or IRA, was signed into law. The IRA is the largest investment ever by the U.S. government in renewable energies, earmarking $369 billion to accelerate efforts to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. According to some experts, the IRA is expected to do more than triple America's clean energy production by 2030, resulting in about 40% of the nation's energy coming from sources such as wind, solar, and renewable natural gas, or RNG. For this to happen, about 550 gigawatts of new energy supply from green sources will come online over the next 7 years. Against the backdrop of this generational opportunity, EverGen Infrastructure Corp, or EVGIF on OTCQX, a specialist in RNG, has positioned itself as an emerging leader in the booming renewables sector. Others in the space that are recognized as leaders include oil juggernaut BP plc, or BP, Utilities Fortis Inc, or FTS, cleantech 347 Water Inc, or SCWO, and Anaergia Inc, or ANRG. To achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050, it is estimated that $100 trillion in capital investment is necessary, creating unprecedented upside for innovators. EverGen Infrastructure, which owns and operates the first grid-connected renewable natural gas facility in North America that has been producing RNG for more than a decade, has a growing portfolio of projects. Expansion at EVGN's 3 flagship facilities will result in the generation of approximately 480,000 gigajoules of energy annually. The company expects to significantly grow its adjusted EBITDA to $13 million from its core portfolio versus $3 million in existing adjusted EBITDA, placing it at an attractive EV/EBITDA ratio compared to peers. The global green energy transformation. According to a BNY Mellon study, it will take investments of approximately $100 trillion to reduce the current 30 billion tons of carbon emissions to reach net zero by 2050, a figure that closely mirrors estimates from the International Energy Agency, or IEA. While that figure may seem astronomical, it actually is not out of line with global fixed capital investments every year, which currently run around $20 trillion. More than $1 trillion annually is already being invested in clean energy pre-IRA, a figure the IEA says needs to rise to $4 trillion. Former Bank of England Governor Mark Carney calls this the greatest commercial opportunity of our age. It is anticipated that additional capital will pour into the space, lending to pricing certainty for projects, as well as supporting merger and acquisition activity across the RNG sector. In 2022, jockeying for green energy market share was on full display in several high-profile acquisitions, including BlackRock buying Vanguard Renewables for $700 million, BP acquiring Archaea Energy for $4.1 billion, and Shell paying $2 billion for Nature Energy Biogas. RNG is a renewable clean energy derived from decomposing organic matter such as wastewater, food waste, agriculture waste, etc. It is pipeline-quality refined biogas that is indistinguishable from and completely interchangeable with conventional natural gas extracted from the earth. At the epicenter of the green energy transformation, EverGen Infrastructure Corp, OTCQX ticker symbol EVGIF, is an emerging leader in the renewable energy space, owning and operating a portfolio of biogas and RNG projects across Canada. Joining the growing chorus of RNG products planned or under construction in North America, EverGen's subsidiary, Fraser Valley Biogas, was the first facility to produce renewable natural gas in Canada, running since 2011. EverGen's initial operations consisted of its Fraser Valley Biogas, Net Zero Waste Abbotsford, and Sea to Sky Soils businesses, all operating in British Columbia. In 2022, EverGen began to expand across Canada and acquired a majority position in GrowTech in Alberta and a 50% stake in a large joint venture in Ontario, comprised of 3 high-quality on-farm RNG projects. EverGen is Canada's leading RNG platform, capitalizing on strong decarbonization initiatives while providing a solution to one of the main greenhouse gas-emitting sources for municipalities, organic waste. To capture these emissions and produce RNG from organic waste, there is a significant need for additional RNG projects and room for growth in the industry, with only about 27% of organic waste in Canada currently being diverted from landfill. Corporations, governments, and utilities are supporting EverGen's growth through attractive, low-risk, long-term off-take agreements to purchase RNG and achieve greenhouse gas emission reduction goals. At EverGen facilities, organic waste goes into an aerobic digester, where it exits as digestate, where organic nutrients are recovered and recycled as fertilizer and soil amendments, and biogas, which is further refined into RNG and sold to utility partners. The company faces an abundance of feedstock supply, considering that more than 144 million metric tons of food waste are produced annually, and there are more than 19,000 large farms and dairies in North America. Expanding footprint. EverGen's flagship assets are in British Columbia. Fraser Valley Biogas uses blended feedstock from agricultural and commercial organic waste, and the operation has a current capacity of 50,000 tons annually, generating about 80,000 gigajoules of energy. Expansion is underway to increase capacity to 100,000 tons per year for 160,000 gigajoules output. Net Zero Waste Abbotsford is an operational organics processing facility utilizing agricultural, municipal, and commercial organic waste. The plant has capacity of 40,000 tons per year, which is being expanded to 135,000 tons. At capacity, following the construction of an anaerobic digester, the plant will produce RNG equal to 180,000 gigajoules of energy. Note, to lend some reference, consider 1 gigajoule is equivalent to about 277 kilowatt-hours of electricity. As a fuel, RNG is equivalent to 26 liters of gasoline. Fortis BC has a 20-year offtake agreement for the RNG produced at SCWO. Also in British Columbia is EverGen's Sea to Sky Soils, an organics processing facility that produces up to 40,000 tons of municipal and agricultural waste annually, with expansion plans to increase to 60,000 tons. Last year was a watershed year for EverGen as it expanded to cement its position as a market leader. The company acquired 67% stake in GrowTech, a multifaceted bioenergy venture of sustainable agriculture near Lethbridge, Alberta. The facility is a biogas operation with an anaerobic digester. Additions are being made to upgrade the system to process the biogas into RNG. An agreement is already in place for Fortis BC to buy the RNG, where it will be tied into the local natural gas pipeline. In aggregate, these facilities will generate approximately 480,000 gigajoules of energy annually when expansion is complete. That's about 133 million kilowatt-hours of electricity, and compelling upside with the current spot price for RNG above $60 per gigajoule. According to the Energy Information Agency, the average annual electricity consumption for a U.S. residential utility customer was 10,632 kilowatt-hours, meaning the RNG from EverGen's 3 plants could power an estimated 12,509 homes with clean energy. Project Radius in Ontario is a model for growth at EverGen. The cluster of projects is a late development stage portfolio of 3 high-quality agricultural RNG projects serving as the cornerstone of EverGen's RNG presence in Ontario. Collectively, these projects are expected to produce about 1.7 million gigajoules of RNG per year. EverGen is expected to announce a final investment decision and notice to proceed early this year with construction targeted around 2023 and 2024. EverGen is a 50-50 partner on Project Radius with Northeast Renewables LP. EverGen forecasts RNG production from portfolio projects collectively at more than 2 million gigajoules per year, with the potential to grow to 8 million gigajoules with consideration for the 25-plus projects it is evaluating in its pipeline. Some of those projects are abandoned plans in the fragmented industry that EverGen can scoop up at attractive prices and integrate into its ecosystem. The company has access to capital and the technical expertise to optimize projects at any stage or condition.
This audio press release is an original broadcast provided by Investor Brand Network, a multifaceted financial news and publishing company that delivers a new generation of corporate communication solutions, including news aggregation and syndication, social communication, and brand awareness tools. Investor Brand Network may receive payments for the services and solutions provided to its client partners. You should assume that the owners, officers, and directors of Investor Brand Network or financial analysts mentioned in this audio production may hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities on their own accounts. This audio production is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell any securities mentioned in this audio production. The information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be or should it be construed as investment advice. As in all investments, investment in the featured companies carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the companies thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This audio production by Investor Brand Network is not purported to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from featured companies and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by Investor Brand Network as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see our full disclaimers and disclosures at investorbrandnetwork.com.